Welcome to the Terry Talks podcast. I'm your host, Terry Brown, and I'll be talking on Tuesdays with real people about real challenges and solutions in real estate investing. We over here, we promote business ownership. One, because ownership gives you options, right? And right now in the world that we live in, one of the reasons why we're being told what we should like and told where we should go and what we should do is because we are more consumers over owners, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is that, in order to build wealth, you need to have assets, right? Business is an asset class. And so we say, right, if you're going to get wealthy, and, some people have kind of shunned from the word wealth, like, they almost look at it, and particularly believers. I want to submit to you that that's what the Lord died for us to have. He died for us to have life and have it more abundantly. In another text, it says that he gives us the power, the ability. He's empowering us to get wealth. Why? Because in the Proverbs, it says, he who controls the purse controls the city. Right. And so, if we're going to be the people who lead, and we can, not just in our communities, but right in our families. How about just leading ourselves, right? There is a position financially that we should be pursuing. And just to clear it up, because I'm going to do this every time we get on, the Bible does not say money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. And I'm going to submit to you, if it was so evil, why do we go to jobs that we really don't like? Why do we stay in environments that we know are just tolerating us, right? They're not celebrating us. Why do we work until we're 80, right? Because we understand that we need money to live, right? The Bible says money answers all things. And so let's clear that up, right? So now we're talking about not only how to make money, but how to manage it, how to maintain it, and how to multiply it. And so these conversations are built around helping you do that, so the flow can stay consistent and it can be secure, which is Toni's area of expertise, right? And so business ownership offers some level of protection. Would you say that is a true statement, Toni, or it needs to be modified a bit?
No. Well, business ownership, not business ownership. So business ownership gives you an opportunity to separate your assets from your liabilities. So assets over liabilities all the time. And what I do know, as with regards to someone who went to school, got decent grades, got a job after job after job, and kept going to school to get more money, is that when I was working without a side hustle or even a business, I was just over broke. I had just enough money so that I can maintain a bill, or just enough money so I can have a good FICO score so that I can borrow money or borrow equity so I can have some level of stability, right? Whereas when you're working, even if it's a side hustle, y'all, but when you're working and you take ownership of your intellectual property, you can literally productize your mind and be like, okay, I need $10,000. I need $20,000. How do I sell $1,000 program? How do I sell a $2,000 program? And me as an intellectual property lawyer, who talking to my clients over and over again, watch me when I'm saying that, is that you still have to set boundaries. That having that business to say, this is my business. You don't have access to all of my empire. So you can set up a business that's going to partner, but then have that business have contractual agreements to set boundaries as to what they can do and what they cannot do with your intellectual property. Most people skip the legal. So me as a former trial attorney, they would come to me when there's a problem. What we trying to do, even the wealth building stage, with regards to appreciating what you do and what you offer, me as well. I'm like, no, you don't go to a lawyer when you are in a problem, when there is a divorce, when there is a lawsuit, when there is a cease and desist. You got to go prior to. so that you can have receipts, so you can have standard operating procedures of your protections at different levels. That's why I tell people every time you level up, you need to lawyer up. So when you go from side hustler to business owner, you know what I mean? Even with the side hustle, when we talk about business ownership, what does that look like? And how do you level up with regards to the business owner? And how do you level up with regards to a LLC, a person who's running an LLC, as opposed to someone who is running an corporation, as to somebody who is hiring people and firing people, and setting boundaries, and leading an ecosystem. It's different levels. Most people just think they see it on social media. It looks so easy. The gatekeepers are gone, but the government ain't.
Yo, we could have talked for days, but because we want you to join us next Tuesday for another episode of Terry Talks, that's it for today.